All right. Yeah. I thought I'd do part two of this because really it's starting to bubble up. But the first half really was a lot of them just keep poking at Artie, keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. But yeah, I guess they got the reaction now. But this really is where Artie started to kind of growl a little. But yeah, let's go.
That girl dial a date didn't show up that morning.
And we had to
I volunteered to go on dial that date to save the segment.
And
it totally was an accident that anything happened.
You might think that I did it because your self-esteem is so fucking low, but I did it because I would do it for anybody who was a major player on the show. If they wrote a letter to Robin, if they wrote a letter to Fred, if they wrote a letter to me, if they wrote a letter to
and let me say one.
And I've had tons of chicks come in here, and I go, how could a chick be into me, man? I'm fucking ugly. So thanks for referring to me as a pelican, fuckface. And I'll tell you something else.
Well, thanks for referring to me as a fat, obese every single day of your fucking life.
I do not. That's bullshit.
Yes, you do.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
You do.
No, you do, Howard.
All right. Oh, you don't. You don't talk about how much you weigh.
You don't talk about your looks?
I do.
Yeah, right, okay.
So now you have to attack me because I set you up with a chick.
Who's attacking you? You're attacking me.
You attacked me. You called me a jerk for doing that for you. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to be a jerk anymore. I'm not going to do anything for you.
Fine.
Do whatever the fuck you got to do.
Good.
Artie's got to do what Artie's got to do. Even
I didn't
insult
say
people.
that.
And, you know, sorry I called you a bro because I felt close to you. But fuck off.
Dude, you're not close. How are we?
To be fair, if we're bros and I can't call you a jerk, not that we'd say that over here, do you know what I mean? But if I can't call you that, we're not really bros. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to get so sensitive about that, then you're not really bros. Though I hate to use that term because, like Artie said, yeah, it is cringy. But yeah,
friends. We're not
I work with you every day and
we
talk
work
to you.
together. We're not friends.
You know what? You know what? It makes me feel close to you. You're somebody who helps my show. You're somebody who works with me. We have a good time jamming together in the morning.
I'm proud to be a part of this show for the rest of my life.
So that would make you my bro.
That doesn't make us friends.
That makes me. You know something? I'm shocked to hear you say you don't think you're my friend.
Well, how are we friends? What do we do that would indicate a friendship?
We spend 5 fucking hours together in each other's head on the air together. I allow maybe 3 or 4 people in this world to do that. Maybe it's not typical friendship.
Benji's friend?
I don't sit there and fucking enable you to drink and shit, but at least, you know, maybe those are your friends. But the fact of the matter is, I sit here every morning and share my livelihood with you because I think you're a great guy and a fun guy and a guy I want to hang with 4 or 5 hours a day. How many of your so-called good friends you hang with 5 hours a day?
I don't work with them. We work together.
So what? You can't be friendly with some.
There's people who spend 8 hours a day with people.
You can't feel close to somebody you work with?
Sure, I feel close to you in the sense that, you know, I care about you and I think you're a good person, but I don't consider us the closest of friends.
I didn't say we're the closest of friends.
Nobody said bosom buddies.
I said you're my bro.
That's what he's sort of saying.
We're comrades in this. We work hard together. We're both on the same team. You know what? Football players think of each other in brotherly ways. They get out on the field and they fight together as men. We've been through a lot of battles together at this point. You've thrown in with me.
So why would you
thrown your career in with me, and you question my fucking motive with getting you a girl?
Why would you question? You can't question my motives on the air.
And you question my motive. You say I'm not your bro. I'm not a friend. Fuck you.
That's not what a friend does. A friend doesn't parade a chick in here who's into fat guys.
Guys in the arm. Bullshit.
No, that's not what a friend does.
Well, don't worry. It won't happen again.
A friend off the air says this girl might want to date you. Everything's on the air with you. Everything's on the air with you. Not everything.
I don't know any girls off the air. No one's written me a letter in my personal life saying I want to go out with Artie. Please, let's do it.
So you can make it your personal life. You could say a girl wrote me a letter. Why don't we get together and have dinner? I think she might like you. That's what a bro does.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of takers in that department. If a girl approached me, I would do it. I haven't been approached.
A girl wrote you a letter. You don't have to make it on the air. You don't have to make it an on-air thing.
Oh, I won't anymore. You know what?
And it proves that she might not just want to be on the air.
And my motive for putting it on the air, my friend, is that I am very uncomfortable meeting people off the air. So, okay, I put that into you. I said, you know what? This is easy. If you don't like the chick, you never have to call her. You kind of screen her out on the air. It's a
no. If I don't like the chick, it turns into this.
And if you
really
like her,
I don't like the chick off the air, you move on. It's a private issue.
No, but you had to fucking make a big deal of it yesterday.
No. You made a big deal out of it by making it a bit for the air. So I reacted the way I reacted, and that's what happened.
I made it a bit for the air so you wouldn't be embarrassed to meet these fucking chicks off the air.
You're uncomfortable about meeting people off the air. Yes. Why does that mean I have to be?
I was wrong, clearly. But my motive wasn't a bad one. My motive motive.
It's weird because this fight really isn't about this now, but for some reason they've gone back to that. Really, the real savage bit is even though I can understand why. Yeah, Howard also it was like super famous already, and Artie kind of worships. Yeah, it's a different relationship, and he's also your boss, which makes it a different relate. Like there's a lot of things that come into it, but then on the other hand, I can understand what Howard says. A lot of your closest friends are people that you've worked together. Like they just are, because like you said, they are the people that you're around all the time.
Your
I
motive
wish
was
someone
to
would
make
do it
an
for me.
entertaining segment for the show, and
Yes.
you're turning that into something like you're my personal friend. You did this as a friend thing. You wanted it to be exactly what this has turned into, a major issue for the show.
You know how many different people who have written me letters and said they want to meet so-and-so on the show and so-and-so on the show. And I go, no. Yeah, of course it'd be interesting.
Well, because
but
maybe
also, it wasn't my intention to embarrass you. It was my intention, like,
well,
hey, what
you
if the chick's
embarrassed
hot?
me. I'm telling you, you embarrassed me.
I apologize then. And I assure you, my friend, it will never happen again.
Fine, good.
Yeah, it will never happen again. You will not have any girls marching in here saying they're attracted to you. You could go fuck yourself
If
if
somebody
that's what you
wrote
want.
me a letter and said,
Yeah.
I love
Dude,
and
you
were
ain't getting
single,
shit.
somebody wrote me a letter
You
and
ain't
you were
getting-
single and said, you know what, I'm in love with
I'm not
Howard.
forwarding anything
I
to
would
you.
come to you off the air and say, hey, you want to get dinner with this girl? You want to meet her? I wouldn't parade her on the air as
I
a
wouldn't. No,
fetish
I would
chick
rather
was
have
into
it.
you.
I would rather
And he
have
would
it
say,
that
what
way.
the fuck's wrong with you? Why didn't you put that on the air?
Yeah, I would have kicked your ass.
That's good. That's because he's nuts. Everything's got to be on
I'm
the air.
not nuts. I'm telling you, I'd rather screen somebody through the air than screen them off the air.
Do you
Sorry.
realize I don't think I've ever had a real conversation with you off the air?
Oh,
The
no,
only
you
reason-
have.
No,
You-
I haven't.
that's a
Artie,
lie.
I
that's a
haven't.
lie.
I sat you down as a friend because I was worried about you. Let me tell you something. There are too many fucking
Oh,
people
and you
who would do
made
that.
fun of that whole situation.
Bullshit.
You know, this is how you get rewarded for honesty on the show. I let out that I was addicted to heroin.
And I cared about you.
Yeah, for 2 seconds, and then there's 82
2
song
seconds,
parodies, and the next day you're playing my
my
phone messages. That's Artie on heroin. Here, listen, that's Artie calling us up on heroin. And then you just yell it out on the Letterman show, and you somehow got an ounce of decency and called him and said, I'm not comfortable with that.
No, you
I
talked
blurt
about
out
it
honest
on
things, and
Letterman.
you don't.
You blurted it out on the air, and I talked about it, thinking, well, if he's talking about it on our air, and
Yeah,
then I
but
said
you
to
don't.
Letterman, would you please edit that out because I'm concerned that it might affect Artie.
Right.
But he doesn't care
But then for
about
5
you.
hours a day on a show that's got more listeners than Letterman, you fucking
Well, you
talk
talked about it here.
Right, I blurted it out in a time that was it was a very difficult moment,
Okay,
and you
so don't
weren't
be mad at me for that.
What are we talking about here? Now we're on to heroin. We
Yeah.
were talking about the girl.
He's attacking me
He's
for
got
everything.
a lot of issues now with you.
I know, but
I'm
I
talking
didn't know
about
that.
our on-air and off-air relationship because you brought that up. The friendship.
I didn't bring it
thing.
up. You said I'm not your friend, so fine. I'm not your fucking friend. Who cares?
Well,
I thought I
How
was.
could you have a conversation about something that doesn't exist?
If you came to me with any request or anything, I would make it happen. And the fact of the
And
matter
you
is,
as well. That's I mean,
and
you
the
know,
fact of the matter is, I do consider you a friend, and I've invited you to my home several times. You've told me you can't come. And
I've been to your
And it's
home.
probably, I've invited you 90% more to my house than you've ever invited me to your house. When did you ever invite me to your
I
house?
invited you to my
Bullshit.
house once. I did. I invited
Never.
you to play cards once, and you said you were
Bullshit.
going on a trip.
Oh, well, I was away.
Right.
But I've
well,
invited
what do
you
you
to
think?
my
I
home.
just sit home and go, I don't want to go to Howard's? I had something to do.
I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, man. I don't invite people who aren't my friends to my home. I
went to-
when
I've
you were
been to
going
your
through your
house a
shit
couple
with
of
Dana.
times.
I said to you, come out and hang out with me and Jimmy, and you felt funny about it. I said, come on out. Let's have some fun. No, I'm not a friend, Artie. You're a fucking asshole. You got fucking major issues, and that real conversation I had with you, you should go see that fucking psychiatrist prontissimo, because shit's getting to you.
What's getting to me? Nothing's getting to me.
When you're sucking on those tabs, something's getting to you.
Well, listen, yeah, I'm
I'm
an
telling
addict.
you, I don't wanna
There's
make
no
it-
question about the fact that I'm an
And
addict.
an addict means something,
Well,
pal.
that's covering something, Artie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's
I've had
covering.
those issues a long time.
Yeah, like from birth.
But this is a different situation.
Oh, boy.
This is not a
difference
different
is
Bring
situation.
in a chick who's into fat guys.
Oh, you devil.
Sorry,
All
won't
right?
happen again. I
Good,
apologize.
Don't do it again.
I said I
You
wouldn't. You
little
can,
devil.
you can be sure you will see no women here who are into you.
Thank you.
You go fuck yourself. Crying out loud. Fucking guy. Bro.
Do you know, I've got to give it to Artie. Like, he come out swinging. Because then it become like the whole time it's been Howard pushing, but now you see why Howard has, because this is great radio. I could imagine, like, if you was actually going about your life, going to work or whatever, you'd be like that would be a killer to have to get out the car and go in. Do you know what I mean? It's proper. They are like literally arguing now, like, yeah. And Artie's going in, and what I like with Artie is it's in for a penny, in for a pound. He started now. It's just like, well, we're in this now, right? Let's go. Like, yeah. But yeah.
Bro's so gay.
The gayest term.
Well, maybe it is. But we got a couple
You
of
can't
bros.
love some people.
No. Fuck you.
Fuck Fred.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and your fucking girls and everything else and heroin and all
You
your
can't
bullshit.
play.
Yeah. And
Man.
gee, no real conversation. It's
Nobody's
been
ever
real
been
easy.
uncomfortable on this show but Artie. That's not fair.
Nah, hey.
I said, go ahead and keep bringing Brooke. I'll continue to be uncomfortable.
I'm quiet over there.
I don't
talking
make
to
the
Howard.
rules here.
I'm talking to Howard. I'm not talking to you.
Go right ahead,
Pretend you
sweetie.
can't hear me.
And it's true.
I
of
wish I
course,
could.
My number one priority is always good radio.
I know that.
Absolutely.
And I
Always.
think I've given you a lot of that over the years with my fucked up body.
More good radio than anybody, and I love you for it. But I'm sorry I said
And I'm not
I love
even
you.
referring to being talented. I'm referring to being a fuck up. Of
So
all
when
my
I say
fuck-up
I
ways.
love you for that, is that gay? Or am I a bad man?
I
You're
almost
not my
died
bro?
of alcohol poisoning on the show.
Well,
Is
whatever.
that who fucking forced you to drink?
Oh, I'm kidding. I said that as a joke.
Sure.
Listen, I'm no more women
I'm
for
not
you.
saying you guys forced me to drink.
You question my motive?
You
You're right. The
asshole.
motive is
You
always that
took me to
something.
Las Vegas. That's forcing me to
The motive is always something good behind it.
I
Fucking private
understand
jet,
you.
you motherfucker.
I'm not looking to
all
hurt
I'll
you.
say is, listen, dude.
Yeah.
I would take a bullet for you.
No,
you know,
you wouldn't.
you're
No,
one
you
of my.
wouldn't.
probably
Yes,
wouldn't.
yes,
You're
I would. You don't know me.
probably not.
You do not know me.
No.
You do
He'll
not know
be
me
I
the
know
way
where
you
it's
think
at
you know
now.
me.
Honestly, I know where it's at.
No, you don't know me
Fred,
the way you think you
let
know
Fred
me.
say.
He'll be holding the gun.
Not to change the subject, but Benji was taking
Robin
his
would
shirt
never-
off.
Robin
over
would
here.
never shoot
Could
you.
you put a stop to that?
Why are you taking your shirt off?
What?
Please don't make this about you.
All right.
He was taking his shirt off and
Please
he's
make
got
it
his hat
about
off and you
you.
see the stubbly shit on his head now.
When the song came out, I was
Looks like a
dance
ball
naked,
sack.
But then
I don't need you to be naked now.
right.
It's not funny. You're never funny with that.
This is the
You're a man.
breakup of a beautiful relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I had a perception of Artie. That's
I mean,
completely
Artie's
false.
pouring his heart out, and this idiot is taking his clothes off.
I'm
really
trying
felt
to be, what I said came out the wrong way. I'm trying to tell you, you say all the time the most important thing in your life is this radio show. And it's probably why it's.
No, my
it's
children and Beth are.
Okay, I get that.
All
I
right.
understand. I know what you mean when you say that.
Yes,
You know,
but it's
after
true.
your children and Beth.
Right. This is
Right.
very important to
Okay,
me.
I get it. So, and it's probably why the show is what it is. It has become what it is. And it's probably
I'm just
why
hurt. I'm
I
hurt.
was a fan and I always wanted to
Right.
be here and everything. I'm saying I understand that relationship you have with this show is more important than the relationship you have with me. And that's fine with me. But I'm saying don't pretend
That's
that.
not true.
Yeah, but yes, it is, Howard. Come on.
That's not true. You're important to me because of
And
this
I
show.
don't care about that. As a matter of fact, I envy you for that. I wish I could be that passionate about a profession. Maybe I'd be more successful than I am.
Well, why
right
don't you
now.
admit you are passionate about this profession instead of hiding behind, oh, I don't give a shit about
I am.
anything.
All I'm saying is, if I knew a guy who was, when I was thinner, an incredibly fat guy, and a chick wanted to come on as a fat fetish on the show before
Not
I
fat
did it,
fetish, fat fetish
before
about
I
you.
did it on the
About Artie. She's into Artie.
No. She's into fat guys. She's into fat
No,
guys.
she wasn't into Ganji. Ganji's a fat guy.
Yeah, but Howard-
You're Artie.
She said she's into fat guys.
Listen,
That's what she said
I
she's
didn't
into.
sit and do an analysis
Here's
of her
what,
letter.
if someone
She
was
liked
my,
you.
If someone
I
was
figured,
my
okay.
friend, if someone was my friend, and I cared about
Well,
them
I'm not
more
your friend,
than the radio
clearly.
show.
Yeah.
I would pull him aside and go, "Listen, is this going to bug you?" She's
Well, isn't
into
it great
fat
how
guy,
you
blah,
do
blah, blah."
everything just right?
No, dude.
No,
I'm not
I
saying
know
I
it's
do
a
everything
bit.
just right.
I know it's a bit, but you know what? Behind the bit, I know it's a joke, the bit. I know that. I know it's a bit. But even I'm like, hey, here's a bit. Yeah, bring the girl in. Ha, ha, ha. But meanwhile, if she's hot, I'm going to go out with her.
And it's not like I'm begging you to do it.
You're not. And I clearly misread that because that's something I'd want someone to do for me. If any letter came in and someone said, hey, you're going to get to meet this chick's into you, that's like a huge icebreaker for me. So I would like that. You clearly don't.
There's a lot of times I'm uncomfortable.
But I didn't mean
There's
it
a lot
to
of
make
times
it to ridicule you.
There's a lot of times I'm uncomfortable with shit that goes on the show. But the fact of the matter is, everybody here gets uncomfortable with shit, and you got to bite the bullet.
Right.
And, you know, the heroin song parodies. That stuff is really, really a personal. Like, really makes me feel awful.
All right,
but I
get all of that.
But I bite the bullet.
But I get all that. The fact that the only hurtful part of this conversation is that you think my motives in doing that were to make you less of a man, and it wasn't.
Well, that's what it felt like.
Okay. And the second thing that's just hurtful to me is that you goofed on me because I care about you. That
But
I do
Howard,
consider you my
goof on
bro.
me every day,
No, but I consider
every
you a
second of
brother.
every day.
You know what? If you and I were in the trenches
that's
together in the
fine.
army, you would be my friend for life, even if we didn't see each other for 25 years. Fred's been at my side for 30 fucking years.
Well,
he is
that's
every
a
bit my
special
fucking
bond.
bro.
I know that. I
and
know.
you've been
and
here
he's
for
never
7
been insulted or denigrated
whatever.
on this show.
You've
Right.
been here.
Never.
No, but the point is,
Could you stop laughing
through
around me?
thick and thin, I will call that guy my brother. Now, that's something out of the 60s. I understand that. And that's something you don't relate to as a younger man. But the fact of the matter is,
It's something your generation
the
lacks.
feeling behind it.
I come from a shitty generation.
You come from a shitty generation. And the
Actually, I
fact of the matter
do, when
is,
you think about it.
And the fact of the matter is, the same goes for you. Yeah, two army buddies might not see each other for 50 years, and they see
But
each
there's
other,
a
and they
bond.
embrace each
How
other.
are you, how you're comparing this to being in
Yes,
Vietnam?
to me,
Oh
not
my
I didn't say
God.
Vietnam. I said an
Oh my
army.
God.
Right.
And the fact of the matter
How
is,
am I not loyal to you on this show?
I didn't say you weren't. Did I ever accuse you of not being loyal?
There's nothing.
I'm saying to you, you ridiculed me for saying you're my brother and you're my friend. You're saying that it's not a friendship if you're together 5 hours a day on the air. Okay, it's on the air, but I feel like you're on my side. When I'm down and I feel like the world is coming in on me, when I come into this room, I go, thank God I've got Artie, Fred, Robin, not so much Benji, but, and yes, even you, Benji. But I go, thank God I have these people because, like, no matter how bad the shit gets, especially when it went down with the censorship and Tom, and I'm always getting suspended and shit, I would say, I just have this refuge. And when I'd get down in my career, Robin would, like, be there, like, laughing at me and doing, like, the radio with me, and I go, oh, thank God, because it's making me feel like I got a team.
I know.
I'm
dude.
not alone.
I know. Can I explain something to you? Let me
So
just say
that's
something.
what you
Let me say
mean
one
to
thing
me.
to you.
And for you to ridicule that,
Suppose
sucks.
talk about ridicule. Suppose suppose you were a fat guy.
I was
again.
under a whole different
Suppose you were
impression
fat,
about
and you're
you.
the most self deprecating guy there is usually,
Right.
and you're very
Right.
aware of your physical being, right?
Right.
Suppose you were fat and you really were embarrassed by the way you look.
Okay.
You work on a guy's radio show, and someone says, "What's going on today?" Well, a chick with loves fat guys is coming in to see if
I didn't mean to insult you.
Of course, it's insulting. How could you not? How could you? What kind of world
The
are you
girl
living in
said
if
she
you
was
don't
into
realize
you.
that's
She likes
insulting?
fat guys. And I figured you're not uptight about you being fat. I didn't know you were so uptight about being
You
called a fat
know
guy.
I'm uptight, dude. You're the one who told me to go to
He
a
doesn't
shrink.
know you. He's
No,
not
you need
even
to go
a
to-
friend.
You are wrong.
How would he
Because
know?
you're
Howard,
changing
Howard,
this.
listen,
My
you're
motivation
trying to
wasn't to
defend
humiliate you.
yourself as a
My
person.
motivation wasn't to humiliate
You were
you. It
being
was for you to
great-
meet a girl.
Yesterday, you were being a fantastic radio personality and a shitty friend. That's what you were doing.
Bullshit.
Yes, you were.
But that wasn't my motivation.
Okay, fine.
And I
well,
don't care
then I'm
what you
telling
think.
you how I feel.
All right, and I'm telling you that was not
because
true.
you feel
And I'm
it,
saying I don't want you to change a thing about the show.
No, I know.
But
I know what you're
Artie-
But this
saying.
conversation is happening. I don't know what the fuck to do about
Artie,
it.
Artie, because you feel.
That was funny. This conversation, I've been in that situation before where you're like, well, that's like I said earlier, you're in it now. You might as well start saying and start proving, because sometimes you say something and then the person you're arguing with picks on that, and you think you say something that you know you're going to have to explain, but explaining it is only going to make the argument, yeah, I know exactly the position you're in, and then then the other person starts saying some shit and you think, no, yeah, but it doesn't. It seems like they kind of calm down for a couple of minutes and then they're going back and forth again. But yeah, I have to say, great radio. Like, I don't know of anything like this in the UK ever. Ever. I don't know of it much like this. But then to Opie and Anthony, I think of the same as that. Like, it's them two shows really. But yeah, this and I can kind of see both sides. I can kind of see like why Howard would say he's his friend, but I think as well. Do you know what I mean? It's a case of looking and you're standing at different levels. You're looking like not actually looking down on Artie, but you're the boss looking to Artie like he's equal, but he's not. And Artie's looking up to you as the boss, like, and not like I say, not only the boss, he's someone who Artie actually looks up to and enjoyed before, was a fan of before that, like. But yeah, hold on 2 seconds, and we'll go up to 40. Yeah, let's go.
Something, does it make it real?
Explain that. What are you talking about?
You felt it doesn't mean he meant it.
Let's see what people say. Let's go to King of All Blacks. Go ahead.
You know, I'm with Artie today, man.
What?
I'm gonna have to side with Artie today.
Oh, fuck you.
He's another
Well,
fat guy.
let him talk.
Yeah, fat guys. All the fat guys calls him. You're being insulted.
Go ahead, King. Why do you side with Artie on this? I'm not even sure what the argument's about, but go ahead.
Because it's like if you seen a girl that was hot that maybe Beth knew. And
I don't know any girls like that, and I would do that for Artie.
And in his personal life, he would do that.
No friend. First of all, Beth doesn't have a lot of female friends, and the ones that do have not approached me about Artie.
Yeah, but what he's saying is, why would you bring it on the air, and why is
But this
because it was something that I would want done for me.
Because he's being a great radio guy.
No.
He's not being a friend. He's
Wait
not
a minute,
thinking of
wait
me
a
as
minute.
a
I thought
friend.
it was an interesting segment, but also I did
And
it out of friendship.
It was clearly fascinating. It dominated the show, and it's dipped over into
I
this.
want to know
wait a
something.
minute, wait
I
a
don't think
minute.
it was a particularly good segment, quite frankly. If you want to know my analysis.
It turned into this, so
Yeah,
people
well.
are
Wait a
probably
minute.
enjoying this.
Let me say something, because
I'm
you're
ripping
missing
my heart out.
something. You're missing something here, both you and the king, that the girl, we don't know her from Adam.
We don't.
Right, okay, so what
So
does that
where
mean?
are we going to introduce you? In his apartment, a total stranger?
You got her to come here and say we'll meet you at the diner.
Right. She wanted to be on the radio and meet you.
Exactly.
Fine, but that's to me, that's an entree to meeting a chick.
Yeah, but Robin, you don't know her personally.
Fred met his wife on the radio. It ain't such a bad
It's a
deal.
different situation.
No, it's not. It's the exact same
No, it
thing.
isn't. No, it isn't. It's a dial-a-date.
I
Fred was a willing
She
participant.
didn't know him any
Fred
better
didn't
than that girl
day
knew
know
you.
It was a dial-a-date. It was a willing participant.
didn't
I
know
came in here
that day.
blindsided by
He
it.
didn't know that day. We did it.
I think Artie's objecting to the whole framing of the fat thing.
All right, but how
it's
many times have
killing
we
him.
introduced them to girls? It's not about being fat. They're attracted to
The
Artie.
dial-a-date wasn't. The dial-a-date wasn't. Oh, we're gonna get this freak Fred
This
laid.
on
I mean,
the air, on the
You
air
should've
for
heard that
me,
dial-a-date.
doing this on the air
I
is
did
an
hear it.
excuse to do it. Otherwise, it's creepy for me. I'm talking about my own life. Like, I get creeped out, like, oh, I'm going to go meet some chick who wrote me a letter. It's like kind of like a cool way to screen it. It's good radio. And
Also,
P.S.
it's a total stranger and anybody could be writing. You get
Yeah.
a chance to preview her
Yeah.
in a public forum where it's not
Well, it's actually
dangerous
safe.
or
Exactly.
The bigger
And that's
issue
all
is
I meant by it.
I've
That's all I meant by it.
confided with you, and you just bring shit up on the air. If there's stuff I don't tell you now because I know you now, and I know your move. You bring stuff on the air.
I've never brought up anything you
yes,
said don't
you
bring
did.
up.
Yes, you did.
Liar.
The whore $500 story. The time I told you
The
that.
whore
Did you tell him
$500
that was
you
in confidence?
Of
What?
course I told him. I said I don't want this on the air.
I don't remember you ever saying I want this
then
on
you
the
know
air.
what? You got selective memory.
All right,
dude.
then I'm wrong. I
said to
apologize.
you-
I don't remember
I said
that.
to you, I don't want this on the air, and I told you that story.
No.
And then you went on the air.
I went
and
on the air and said, what? Artie, do you want to tell that story? I gave it up to you.
You kept fucking.
No, bullshit.
I had a choice at that.
I get a tape of that. I want to hear me bringing up something that he told me not to
And then
bring up.
I confided you in something about Dana on the phone, and you just blurted it out. And now I know that. Now I know
What
that
was
you.
that?
What was that?
Blurt it out again. No.
We talked about. He did. Well, he did. He's. You know. And
What did I
looked
say?
I remember looking at you like, how did you just say that? What the fuck was the issue? I was talking.
There
to you
was
on the
one thing. He's
phone.
right. I think this might be it. Go
Of
ahead.
course it wasn't. I'm like,
All right,
no.
okay. I might have fucked up. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, but Howard, listen. But the point is, I would never in a million years think
All
about
right.
doing that to you, and you do it, and you,
I
and you
don't.
go, oh,
You
I'm
make it
sorry,
like I
and
do
it's
it all
just
the
turned
time.
up.
Bullshit.
That's two examples
No.
to where I'm scared.
Many people
If
here
I
have told
tell
me
you
things in
something-
confidence.
If I tell you something in person
Yeah.
that you think would be so incredible for the air, you know you're going to figure out a way to pick it up.
No,
bring it up on
I
the
would
fucking
say
air.
to you, Artie, can we talk about that on the air?
Yeah, you do that on the air.
Right. And if you say no,
and
it
then
doesn't
6
go any
million
further.
people hear it, and then, all of a
That's
sudden,
right.
it's like, why is already being a fuck?
All right, this argument just got a second wind. That was a proper punch up the ribs then. I thought this was kind of winding down a bit, to be fair. And then that blow come from Artie, and you just know that. You can just tell as soon as he said that, you bring stuff up on air that I tell you not to. It was like, oh shit. Here we go again. Like, yeah, I honestly thought that we was kind of winding down, getting kind of, do you know what I mean? But Artie is just, yeah. Like if a campfire's just going out and then Artie's just fucking throwing petrol, do you know what I mean? And just fucking blowing everything up. But yeah. Yeah. Do you know what as well? It couldn't have been a perfect time. Because just as I was wrapping up the video, Artie throws that into the mix and it's like, oh, yeah. This just took a whole different turn. To be fair, though, there's been some personal things said anyway. Like, yeah. I have to say, and I have to say, really, the bit went fantastic. It took up however long we watched of the first one, an hour and a half or whatever it was, of the radio show. And then we're 40 minutes into an argument still from the same situation. So really, in kind of radio terms, it was a brilliant segment and it did work perfectly. Like, I found it a bit disingenuous when Howard said it. To me, it hasn't. Now, maybe it hasn't because I'd, Artie, Artie may have just said things that is the elephant in the room, really, but we're not really friends. And yeah. But I found it a bit disingenuous that Howard said, yeah, um, the segment didn't go well because it went really well. It's still going really well. But, like I say, yeah, this definitely just got recharged. So, yeah, part 3 will be coming. But, yeah, that's the reaction. Sweet.